I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We are joined by Beryl Arsenal. Hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm Beryl Arsenal, your little toy bear VTuber on a mission to create her nation.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
I had to get that intro going.
Absolutely. We were discussing before we came on backgrounds, and we do have a little bit in common coming into here, even though it's like 17 generations removed. So how did you get started in VTubing?
Oh boy, it's a mix of having streamed art on Picardo back in the day, and being a baby weeb when it was like 2009, and just liking the creative mediums in general. I'm a graphic designer, I'm a big gamer, I'm an artist, and seeing VTubing, I'm also a very social person, very important, and seeing VTubing being the perfect way to express yourself in original content, while keeping that sheen of anonymity that many women should have on the internet, was like the perfect thing to me.
Yeah.
You can be yourself online, and you don't have to deal with the potential. No, you do deal with creeps, it's true. But there's that wall of not being yourself.
Yeah, and being
that
yourself
gives you that extra confidence to do something.
Yeah, it kind of,
you're safer.
Some folks have said it gives you a chance to be more yourself than you are normally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
it's your truer self, also while playing a character. It's a strange balance, but it works.
Yeah, and for a lot of folks, they get to present themselves how they want to be presented, without having to deal with, the nasty visual things.
Absolutely,
that come out. I used to say that it was like going from a high school to college, where you're still the same person, but nobody in college remembers the time you tore your pants in third grade reaching for a pencil.
Yeah.
You start fresh, basically.
It's a new you.
Yeah.
And personally, I get that part, because this is not my first life as a VTuber. But one big thing, this is my second go as a VTuber. Because the past life, made in a hurry during COVID. COVID boom, everyone was a VTuber. Everyone was like, let's do this. So I didn't think through any kind of plan when I started. I just made a character. I rigged my character. I was DIY all the way through for that one.
Yeah.
And then I was like, after I would say 6 months, because I had never truly streamed before, I was telling myself, is this me? I like this character. But is this the kind of character I want to play? And then I kind of lost that spark. And then I graduated. And then I came back as Beryl Arsenal. And ever since, I've been feeling like she's a lot more me than my first persona ever was. Yeah. That's not something you could do in real life. You can't just graduate your human body and get a new one.
Oh boy, I wish I could. Especially at this age.
It'd be much easier.
All the parts, the warranties have expired. Believe me.
I would do crazy things to have working knees again.
No, that would be nice. That would be nice to wake up on a cold late February and not have both knees swollen the size of basketballs. That would be
exactly. You get it.
Yes. Not trying to figure out which hand I use the cane on today. Oh, it's just hard being old. For you, and having that previous life on as a streamer, I imagine that did help you the second time around, though.
Having the previous life?
Yeah. I mean, you had.
Oh, yeah.
At least you had a general idea now what you're getting into.
Yeah. I knew. I streamed about 2 years as that persona. It was not a full-time thing. It wasn't as consistent, because being consistent in streaming isn't really easy when you have responsibilities outside of that. Not the easiest. So I didn't have a consistent schedule. I was more here and there, but it gave me the tools I needed to start Beryl on the right foot.
Yeah.
And between that, I started working in marketing, which gave me extra knowledge to make Beryl even better, because let's be real, half of the VTuber grind is knowing marketing and social media management.
Yes, marketing.
For an indie especially, yes.
Yes, I've said that before, because coming from the radio side, marketing was absolutely huge. Back when local radio was still feasible, back then, you had to market yourself. You have to get yourself in the right place for your potential audience, and position yourself in the right place to have the chance to get the audience, bring the audience in, and then hook them.
And it's not easy if you don't have the knowledge to do so.
Mhm.
It's not something that comes to everyone like naturally.
Right. And there's different ways to do it. I mean, I've seen some folks now where they've just been able to slowly, naturally, organically grow, and they've got and that well, it might take a while, but you'll end up with a pretty solid base if you do it that way.
And taking a while, I would say, is better than just blowing up overnight, because especially if you're not equipped to be blowing up, that can backfire, because you're going to get that 15 minutes of fame and you won't know how to keep it going. While being organic assures you that athletes are going to keep some of that.
Yeah. I'd say that somebody has 10 listeners, gets rated by 1,000, and then by the time that rate is done, you have 5 listeners.
Yeah, because you don't know. You just kind of crash out in a sense. It's having big raids does play on your nerves.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, it's nice, but I mean, you don't expect all of them to stick around.
No.
Yeah,
it's all fleeting.
Yeah, it's all fleeting, but it sure can make you take a trip to the restroom.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And like it's I mean, VTubing itself is fleeting. We don't know where the medium's going to be in 10 years. Being a streamer isn't even a sustainable career, if you will. We hear about people saying, "Oh, I want to be a full-time streamer. I want to be a big VTuber." But think about your retirement fund, your taxes, everything that you would get with a 9-to-5, a steady, real life, air quotes, kind of job. You don't get that as a VTuber because you're self-owned. You're your own business.
Exactly. And if you're going to do it full time, you better take it as a business.
Oh yeah.
And you
do those taxes.
Yeah, taxes all over the place. And taxes and you're talking about insurance.
Yes,
not so much for folks north of the border, but for folks here on our side of the border.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When you have to come up with some type of insurance for yourself, and you just can't rely on 24-hour streams to do it all the time.
Even the income isn't consistent.
Yeah. And I think when I look forward to what VTubing has, and of course my angle is different than yours, obviously, is I just think that the audience still hasn't been reached yet. I think that there's still millions of people that would enjoy it that don't even know it's there.
For sure.
Yeah, and how many of them will want to try it as a part? I think there'll be less corporations doing it, or at least not in the way that they are now. That's pretty unsustainable unless you're in Japan. And you'll see people. There'll be people who are doing it as a full-time job, and there'll be people who'll be doing it once a month.
Yeah.
And it's like you can, and hopefully they'll all be able to enjoy it, and that's going to be the biggest thing. Even if you have a full-time job, you better enjoy it. Otherwise, it's just going to be terrible for you.
Yeah, pretty much. Like everything needs to be enjoyed to an extent. And I know some jobs are high paying but not enjoyable.
Right.
And it's up to the person to decide if they want to stick with it. I think it's cliche, but most things should be done for the enjoyment.
Yeah.
And not just monetary gain. And especially VTubing, because the monetary gain is it's slow for the sheer amount of work put in.
Oh,
especially as an indie.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just I've got a model, I've got a computer, here we go. Here comes the money.
No. It's the money you put in also. Like, yes, I get Twitch payouts, I get ad revenue. If you want to talk numbers, I'm going to be fully frank. My Twitch payouts are like $300 Canadian, which is good for an indie that started 3 months ago.
Oh yeah.
Ish.
That's not bad. But that's at least gas money.
Exactly. But when you think about it, if I recently bought the Tobii eye tracker, that's $300. That money that was made is already gone. And that doesn't count the other assets. Model upgrade, more RAM if I had the money. Like it just piles up.
Right.
So you don't truly make money that goes into your bank account and stays there.
Right.
You make more money to put more into it. So it's truly not a real gain.
Yeah. Yeah. And putting in a lot of money at the beginning to go into a character isn't probably the most efficient way to do it either. Because what if you get burned out after 3 months?
Yeah, that's why I always try to warn people thinking of being a VTuber, don't put all your money in right away. You might not even like streaming on camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
exactly.
buying a $2,000 model and then being like, oh, I don't like this, you just burned $2,000, and for what?
Yeah, and while some people are able to, depending on how they got the model, they're able to resell and get some money back on it, but
Yeah.
you're not going to get $2,000.
No, it's still a loss of some sort.
Yeah, and then you burnt yourself completely out of something you might have enjoyed.
Yeah. Because then there's regrets because you wasted money and time on something you end up not really liking.
Yeah. Well, you said you kind of found out about VTubing. How did you find out about VTubing?
Very online. I'm very, very online all the time.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
I was an Asian studies major, so I was always connected to Asian media.
Yeah.
And I came across Nina Mai Inanis's design, and I was like, wow, that is the prettiest anime girl I've seen in my life. And I was like, let me check out, like, who is this? I knew about VTubers because of Kizuna Ai, like many people,
Right.
but I hadn't really looked into it. Then I found Hololive, and I was like, oh, this would be cool to do one day.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, it's too expensive, it's probably a lot of work. And then a friend of mine started VTubing with a free Vroid model in like 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized this is more accessible than I thought it was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that's how I started. And that's why I always preach, get the cheap stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I am, full disclaimer, I am a cheap ass in VTubing. I'm running a very, like, right now my current model is the Twin Tails customizable model. It's just that I've edited it a lot to look somewhat original.
Yeah, yeah. Plus you have a background. You have an art background, so
yes, the art background does help a lot. Yeah, so that's why when I see someone starting VTubing, I'm like, if you have even the basest skill set that you could use to make VTubing cheaper, do it.
Yeah.
It's gonna take time, but do it. Because if you don't end up liking it, you've only wasted time and not money.
Yes, yes, and while you're not going to be able to make up either one of them, you can still have the time to get up the money to pay your rent.
Yeah.
Call the landlord and beg at that point. It does work sometimes, I can tell you. In radio, you didn't get a whole lot of money either.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So with your art background, and you mentioned Nina Anais, they do a lot of work with fashion too. I've seen a lot of their stuff up there, and that's quite an artist there. I mean,
absolutely.
So was that what kind of attracted you to that? Besides the way her model looked.
It's hard to say. It's just purely how the model looked, really. I was like, there's something about like the color palette, the little details. I like character design a lot, but I think that's the designer part of me and the anime liking part of me that was like, oh, I can make a character. Because I wasn't the type to make original characters as a kid, but I saw VTubing just the best way to express concepts. So when I saw her, I was like, oh, there's something harmonious about those designs. Even all of Hololive, they tend to have very good designs up my alley. Yeah. There's like this simplicity to a lot of the models, and yet they're very detailed, but they're not over-designed, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
There's often like a base palette. There is a pattern or two, and it's such efficient branding that you could put them in any other outfit. Just change a little, and you would still know that's them.
Yeah, yeah, and they seem to have gotten, especially with this last bunch of English talent they've gotten, they have really picked and chose the right personalities for those.
Yes.
And they were very meticulous. But folks also have to remember they've got a board of directors. They're a corporation.
That's a whole corporation.
Yeah, they've got a lot of people to do it. You, as you said, heck, you've got a art background, and you found after starting out that the first character wasn't really quite you, so you started again.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with started again.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, but I put in work, or I've been this character for like 2 years. It's like a sunk cost kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, if you keep that character, you might not be your best self.
Right.
So it hurts to restart, but in the end, it's worth it.
Yeah, it is. It is. So you and art, how long has that been a thing? Were you an artisted kid?
Yes, I was one of those, oh, I was born with a pencil in my hand kind of people, you know?
Yeah. I bet your mom wasn't too happy with that.
Oh, my mom could not draw to save her life. It's all my dad who paints and stuff. He was like the artist in the family, and I just drew a lot as a child.
So it was very natural to you then.
Yes, exactly.
So,
we have a generally art inclined family, so a lot of like very profound music listeners, very big art enjoyers, museum visits. You see the type.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Now,
don't talk to me about math though.
Well, some of us are good at numbers, and some of us just
exactly.
are good at subtracting, like my bank account.
Can Rob don't talk about algebra?
Yes.
I will cry right there on the floor.
I actually took calculus in high school, and I did okay in it. But that was also 40 some years ago. And if someone tries to tell me to solve for f of x, my brain will hurt. I don't know how to do it, but something in the back of my brain will start hurting. It's
just rough.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with it anymore. So were you self-taught as an artist?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I would never call myself like a very complete artist. Don't try to make me draw something at too weird an angle. But it's just good enough that I can make live 2D models or make texture editing for customizing, which is all I need for this, and emotes, which is pretty good, all things considered, and overlays. And animation.
Yeah.
So I guess
you're speaking with a guy who has absolutely negative artistic ability. So, you're talking so super advanced concepts here, and I'm not even able to walk when it comes to
fair enough. I guess it's all relative.
Yeah, yeah. My wife has the artistry in the family. I have the watching her do artistry in the family.
So you're like my mother, truly.
Yeah.
The mother watching the father painting, and her being like, I can't draw a stick figure.
So did you get into painting before you got into the digital arts?
Well, I would say I was wrong with a pen and paper, and then I got my first tablet when I was 10. So digital art happened pretty young.
So you got to use the undo button early on.
Yes, yes, exactly. A luxury I cannot go without now.
Oh, my wife, the most recent thing she did was an oil painting. And I came home from work, and there were like 13 different versions of this oil painting.
Yeah, that's a trad struggle.
Yeah.
It looks, traditional art looks gorgeous, but Control Z, I miss you.
Exactly. Erase, no. And as bad as I am at it, I couldn't even do that. But so did you go to school for this? Obviously, since you're a pro at it.
I would not call myself a pro, but
you got paid to do it. That's pro.
Graphic design wise, I'm more of I would say a versatile artist, because I've been taught how to work it in a very corporate manner. So it's less about having your style and more knowing how to adapt to a bunch of styles. So for my personal graphic design VTubing, I do try to follow. There's a certain look to VTubing assets, to the logos, the overlays. There is something unique to it, because it's not quite like gacha game design.
Mm-hmm.
It's flatter. It's less functional, but it's still pretty functional, because you have to clearly display all your information.
Right.
So it's this kind of like, well, on my end, it's cutesy, You always see the same fonts used by VTubers, the same kind of colors.
Right.
So I do go with what's codified as the VTuber look.
Right. Right. But yeah, as you see the logo we're showing right now, is that one that you designed?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see the quality there, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it gives you an idea of what a barrel is like.
Yeah.
You don't want a um, logo up there that shows something completely different, and with like big fancy, scripty stuff, and you're a sea urchin or something. It's not going to work.
No. There's a whole branding element that people unconsciously think about, but they won't necessarily apply.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, my character is like X and Y, but then it's like, how do you take those traits and apply it to your design outside of like the character and what it looks like? How do you translate the personality to a text?
Yeah.
It's the little things that you're only really good at only if you've been self-taught for a while, or you've done this with formal education.
Right. And you have to be perceptive enough to do it too.
Yeah. Perception is a design skills in itself.
You have to be able to step back from what you're doing and see the forest from the trees. Where is this what I'm really showing, or am I getting just too caught up in the details to show that this is what I'm trying to do?
And you have to look at it with the mind of person that does not understand things as deeply as you do. Because sometimes I think about the personality I display or the little traits on my model, and I'm like, oh, this comes off as this thing. And then my viewers are like, I didn't see it that way. But my viewers don't have the branding and marketing know-how like I do.
Yeah.
So they miss things that seem obvious to me. So it changes a lot in how you're supposed to work. I would say the healthiest thing you can do as a content creator is ask your community how they see things, how they interpret you. Just try to figure out how you're being perceived, because we have natural biases.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. And being able to take that step back is very, and you can get something that's very, very detailed, but you're the only one that's going to notice it, and your audience isn't going to notice it. Maybe that's fun for you, but it doesn't necessarily help market your channel that way.
And what can seem vital to you might be like inessential to most people.
Yeah. Or just
I started off with a custom model at first, which I had to ditch because of the Indonesian broker scandal, which you might have heard of.
Yes.
Yes, so my first model, my original design, which I designed myself but paid to get rigged and animated, was caught up in that.
Oh.
So I had to pivot to a customizable model.
Yeah.
So I was telling my viewers, is it fine if I don't commission a new model and I stick to this heavily edited customizable model for a while? And they were like, we don't really care. We just like you as a person.
Yes.
And this one isn't a one-of-a-kind model, but it's still cute and it's still you. And I was like, maybe I've been interpreting these things wrong the whole time. We put so much emphasis on having that perfect, unique, one-of-a-kind $5,000 model that we forget how the most important part is the person behind it.
Exactly. And when you step back and say that to yourself, you're like, well, of course. I mean, this is what the whole thing is about, isn't it? I mean, it's about presenting yourself in a way, but people are going to come back for the personality of whatever's doing.
Yes.
So,
and I mean, it's undeniable that the model is the hook. So you're having an easier time pulling people in if you have that crazy model off the bat. But you need to keep them.
Yeah.
To make them stick around.
Yes.
Which often, if you're a beginner streamer, I mean, full disclaimer, I wasn't as chatty when I first started. I wasn't as dynamic. I didn't know what I was doing as much. So even if I had that $2,000 model, it would have been too hasty an investment for the streamer level I displayed, if you will.
Maybe.
So sometimes it's better to like scale naturally, and people like seeing the scaling because we know VTubing is so based on idol culture, and there is nothing more satisfying than watching that idol grow in real time.
Oh yeah.
So people like seeing the upgrades too.
Well, they get invested in it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's another thing to keep your audience is have them invested in what you're doing, one way or another, where they care about what's going to happen next. It becomes a part of their everyday routine. When
Yeah.
when you started getting audience to come back, whether it was the first time around or this time around,
Oof.
how did
First
that
time around.
how did that affect you when you realized that they were coming back for you and not necessarily what you were doing?
It was so strange because I mean, in real life, I wouldn't say I'm anything exceptional. I'm just yet another person who is into nerdy stuff and draws. There's not only 10 of us in the world. There's many, many of us. And then I kept seeing people coming back, being like, "Oh, hi, Beryl. How are you? It's been a while. I like your stuff. We're here for you." And even to this day, I'm like, why? I can't say I've stopped wondering the why, Even if I know, I don't have that whole thing where I keep being in denial, telling myself, "Oh, I'm not worth it."
Yeah,
I'm way past the point of not having any confidence as a streamer.
right.
But to this day, it still baffles me to think that people come back when there's like 10 billion more VTubers out there because it's super saturated, and I don't have the most expensive setup. I don't have the best audio. I don't have the biggest fan base.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why this community over any other?
Yeah. And do you really want to know that though? Do you really want to know
Yeah.
why? Because then it kind of takes the magic out of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, you don't want to know too much too, because it's like it's that balance between the mystique, the kayfabe,
Yeah.
and the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. I did pro wrestling for a little while. I was a
It's
commentator for pro wrestling for a little while, so I get that.
it's a lot like wrestling when you
Yeah,
think about
it
it.
is. There is some parallel to draw. That's definitely for sure with it. Unfortunately, some of the drama that goes on, and
Yeah.
has a lot to do with it. With that, and realizing that your reach is now all the way around the planet. Your potential audience is 95% of the world's population.
Yeah.
Is there any time when you get on the air, you've got the microphone on, and then suddenly you stop and realize the people I'm talking to are standing upside down from me on the other side of the world?
I've had a couple of these times. I've had some Australian,
Hmm.
New Zealanders.
Yeah.
A lot of my I've noticed, aside from the North Americans, I have a bunch of Germans for some reason.
Mm. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know why you guys are here, but it's pretty cool. But why don't you go watch your German VTuber? It's not even as like, oh, I don't want you guys. Just
Yeah.
how did you cling to the little French bear right here?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because these people wouldn't have known you existed. I mean,
No, not at all.
you certainly wouldn't have known they've existed. But now there's
That's the
something.
magic of the internet.
Yeah, it connects everybody together here. I can when I say when I started in radio, just to talk to you from where I am, and I know in general where you are, but it would cost so much money,
Yeah.
and it would sound terrible. It would be over a landline phone, and I would be fired for doing it. It'd be
The
more than
bills.
my salary. It would cost.
Oh my god.
And now I get to walk into a room and pick up a microphone and say hi, and there you are.
Yeah.
The world gets bigger and smaller at the same time.
We're still a drop in the ocean, but also more interconnected than ever. The amount of times, the magic of VTubing is too, the amount of time someone is like, "Oh, do you know this VTuber?" And like, they have like 70,000 subscribers and you've never heard of them in your life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's such a small world, but it's also so big. It's larger than it was in 2021 when I started.
Mhm.
But I still so often come across mid to large size VTubers, obviously not VShojo size, but like
Mhm.
large indies, and like I've never heard their name in my life.
Yeah.
So it's a very insular community while also being so big.
Yeah. Yeah. And there are, if you don't find something that you can at least have on in the background that is going on one of the streaming groups right now, you're not looking hard enough.
No, there's something for everyone.
Yeah, there's folks doing cooking streams, singing streams,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
instruments. There's lectures going on, for crying out loud.
There's everything.
Yeah,
It's a medium for content creation. It's not a type of content creation in itself.
yeah,
Because the avatar is just the container for what you want to do. It is not the thing itself.
yeah. It's the means to the end.
Exactly.
And I just it's one of the reasons why I talk to you guys, because there's not only is I find this fascinating, but so many different stories, so many different people, so many different, you know, where they come from.
It's more
Your
varied
backgrounds.
than one might think at first glance.
Oh, absolutely. It's much more varied than I ever had doing like sports or politics or news when I was,
I can imagine.
getting
Yeah.
paid to do interviews. I mean, it was it was sometimes it was fun, sometimes it wasn't. But here I get to meet some wonderful people, including yourself, and all these other great folks that I wouldn't have known before, and I get to ruin their lives by having them talk to me. It's all about me in the end.
How dare you?
I'm old. I can do what I want.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
The when you're online, what can we expect out of a Beryl stream?
Lots of shenanigans, lots of gaming, lots of Quebecois content too, because I've started making shorts about my heritage and the culture in Quebec,
Yes.
and it's attracted a. There's something about the Quebecois online.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's the QC clientage on video games or it's the fact that we're a culturally small nation
Yeah.
in a big nation
Right.
of Canada in general, but there is this bond that links us all together. Like us, I think it's a small countries like province kind of thing. Because I
Mhm.
think like the Scandies are the same, like Finland, very small place,
Mhm.
and I've been told it's the same for them. But in Quebec, a Quebecois online will see a content creator that's Quebecois, and they're going to be like, "Yo, you're Quebecois, too," and they're going to love you.
Heck,
It's a thing.
you told me, and I said, oh yeah, I've got something in my background too.
Yeah. It's truly a phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's like there's this pride to seeing us online, basically. And
Yeah.
when you consider that the only other big streamer from Quebec is XQC, I think sometimes they're happy to see more normal, regular content creators out there.
Well, that being said, do you at times do French streams?
I don't do full French streams because my large majority of my viewers are still Anglophones.
Mhm.
But I do have some redeems to make me speak French. I do make shorts on Quebecois culture, like on the language, on the slang, stuff like that. So my content isn't French,
Right.
isn't really French, but I do like pepper my stuff with French here and there or cultural references, or sometimes I do switch to French when I freak out in the game. So
It's always good to be
I
able
do-
to curse.
I do drop a tabarnak or two when I get scared, you know?
It's always good to be able to curse in other languages.
Yeah, always. It's a charm point.
That's right. It's a
So
feature.
yes, it's mostly gaming on my end still because I haven't organized deeper streams, but sometimes it's a Q&A. Tomorrow I'm doing a music review stream on Twitch where I'm going to listen to my community's favorite songs and like we're going to like review them together, react together because I'm also a very, 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 very big music fan.
What
And
types
I'm
of
trying
music?
to find ways to I listen to black metal, like I listen to pop and industrial and folk and it's a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I like to it's tough because inherently using copyrighted music on stream is a doozy, but I try to find ways to add music to my channel content.
Yeah.
So I'm starting music react streams and I'm starting professional singing lessons.
Yes.
I've been in them for 2 months, so I've been trying to make covers. I want to get better at that, so official lessons with an opera singer. Who knows where that'll lead me?
Ooh. Well, we do. We, for the first 2 years, at the end of the year, we've always had a music special with the guests that we've had on. So when you do your cover, you got to let me know so we can put it on the
That
special.
would be lovely, yes.
Yes, absolutely. I love the fact that people are able to do these things and show and first of all, have the courage to show what they're doing,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
still a mountain to go over. But having the ability to show these things off, we've heard people with just the most ridiculously good voices, and ridiculous talents that normally would not have even gotten out of their house
No,
with it.
because nowadays just getting found as a musician
Yeah.
is so difficult in the sphere of real life,
Right.
if you will, that VTubing is giving an avenue for more exposure where they wouldn't have gotten on TikTok for one reason or another.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's what the music industry is now. It's make a TikTok account and pray.
Yeah. It is very different than before, and there were several people who were releasing music a few years back, and I'm not in the radio business now, so I don't know exactly, but we're just doing it only on like Spotify and YouTube.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
How it's changed.
Yeah, and of course when I was back in the day, we were spinning them platters on the turntable, being our disc jockey voices.
Even in Quebec, I know that we're getting to radio talk right now. Show 97.7, the classic rock station in Montreal, was very responsible for putting a lot of early bands on the map in Canada. So it's one interview or one guest spot could change lives back then.
Oh, absolutely.
And now radio doesn't have that power anymore.
Unfortunately, no. And that's when you. And I blame computers.
Yeah, we can blame computers for a lot.
Well, when you hear AI being used for announcers' voices, which is still terrible, and they mispronounce everything,
because it's just AI.
Yeah, and
what a shame.
And you can hire one of us former announcers for a half a cheese sandwich, and we'll do it.
They would love to do it. It's less expensive than probably the license for the AI model.
That's right. We are not proud. We'll take whatever old scarf. Yeah, we'll take it. I don't care. Doesn't fit shirt. I don't care. It's a headband. I'll use it. So we're cheap. But do you think that we're going to see an incursion of AI into VTubing, where you'll have entire groups made of AI people?
I would say with Neurosama, the thing is, she's AI, but there is something more than just corporate greed behind her, which I think makes her fine. It's about the intent also. Like, yes, she's AI. She's not the same kind of model. Obviously, she's AI nonetheless, but it's all about the intent behind her. In the experiment, and she runs in a local machine, I'm pretty sure. So not the same impact either. Right. It's a complex debate, I would say. It's often like watered down in online conversations, but I think Neurosama is fine. We might find more of her. She's not what I'm worried about. I think she's all right as she is. It's if we start getting AI-generated models, AI-generated assets, they're already a problem.
Yeah.
It's more about giving the artists the credit they deserve and the money they deserve.
Right. And with everything, whether it's audio or video or whatever they're putting together, because we don't want to lose that creativity and the chance that we have to show more creativity now.
Yeah.
We now have the potential of more creativity than we've ever had.
Absolutely.
To be shown. Let's take advantage of it while we can, and try to make money off of it, and then we can. Enjoy it. That's what I meant. Enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy. The enjoyment is the best part.
Enjoy it with the money you make off of it. Yes. That for you, are you someone who takes commissions for any of this stuff?
Yes, indeed.
So how can someone do that?
Well, personally, I use VGen for commissions. It's Beryl Arsenal. I think it's Beryl Arsenal or Beryl Arsenal VT, either way, or on Twitter, Beryl Arsenal. That's my handle. I take mostly graphic design commissions. I don't take art commissions because my workflow is too slow to be actually money making. But I do make overlays, panels. I make logos, anything that's more branding related than model related, I take that.
Yeah, and folks, if you've got a chance to have somebody take a crack at it, that's not you, uh, it's probably a good idea and I'm sure Beryl's not going to price you out of the moon
No,
to do
no.
this sort of thing, but obviously you're going to be talking with someone who's got experience at it, who's been doing it for a while, and maybe can catch something that you're not catching with would you rather come up with the entire idea yourself, or do you want input from the
I
customer?
do think the way I work is it's a bit more of a complex workflow because I'm going to take their ideas, their mood boards, and then I'm going to make drafts. Like, for example, if I made a logo,
Mhm.
I would ask them, what do you want in your logo? Blah, blah, blah. What kind of colors? Send me a mood board if you have ideas. And then I make several drafts of an initial concept. And then when it's okay, we pick the best one. And then I make a reference sheet of like 9 fonts they would like use in their logo. And then they pick one. And then I just go through my regular, make the assets, put the colors in, and then put the extra details. And with each step like that, I do ask them for their feedback so they can revise whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
So it's more of a, I guess, a standard kind of workflow you would find in corporate work
Mhm.
rather than just like a scab style. I want this, and 3 days later, here's a logo, no revisions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know I have the skill and I have the knowledge to do a more formal workflow. So that's what I offer.
Yeah.
Because I think not everyone is going to have the opportunity to do that. Because not every commissioner works with someone with professional experience.
Exactly. And I will never again, after doing some of these thumbnails, I will never again make fun of somebody for using a different font.
Fonts are a grind.
Yes,
Fonts are their whole thing.
yes, they're there for a reason, and you'll never realize it until you write out something in the perfect font. Like, oh,
Yeah, and you're like, oh, it clicks.
yeah,
You feel it right, and you're like, oh, this is the stuff.
yeah, that's the closest I'm going to be getting to art anytime soon. The font is
And
perfect.
also, another thing, since I have a formal design background, if I get a proposition that's more out of the left field, more off the beaten path,
Hmm.
I do take those sometimes because I know I have the skill to do so.
Hmm.
Because if you work, especially like freelancers, sometimes you're going to be limited because you've only worked in the same style all your life, which is normal. It's like
Right.
ask a landscape painter to draw a horse, and they might be really good at trees, but they can't do a horse, you know? But
This horse
since
has
my
leaves.
since my particular skill set is meant to be more of a jack of all trades than a master of one,
Mhm.
I've had a client recently ask me they want an overlay that's basically, you know, like control panels or on a plane.
Hmm.
Like when you play Flight Simulator and there's a bunch of buttons and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Someone was like, I want this done, but I know I can't ask most people. So would you be down to do this? Because I think you can.
Hmm.
So that's where having someone who has a more versatile skill set or a professional one can do the job.
Well,
Because
that's
if you want to stray from what's the usual VTuber asset,
right.
you can't ask the usual artist either.
Yeah. I would first of all, I tip my hat to them asking it that way because they certainly do brush up the ego while asking you at the same time. I know you can do this.
I was like, oh, that's true. Thank you.
You just salute and take it and go at that point. Those folks already know marketing.
Yep. I do think there's an art in choosing who you commission to.
Yeah.
It's
It-
a
as long-
lot goes into thinking of a commission, not just making it happen, just planning it
yeah.
is a work of its own.
Yeah. And also, just for your own sake, folks, take a look at the background a little bit. And get some ideas. Because
Yeah.
there's some folks who do really, really good work on things when they want to.
Yeah, and then there's a whole thing with the professionalism of commissions.
Yes.
Especially in VTubing, it's unfortunate, but very often you're going to find artists who just don't do commissions or they're not communicative. It's just one email or one ping to tell people, "Oh, there's a delay on this because of X and Y."
Yeah.
But you see that problem often because a lot of artists, they're right out of college, they start doing freelancing, and they haven't had the corporate background necessary
Right. Or they
to approach that kind of business, right?
or they overclock themselves, or
That too.
yeah,
It's a balance.
yeah, they don't know how to schedule themselves. And have you taken any
And
voice?
like, I'm not saying I'm perfect as like a scheduler, a business person, but
But
I think we could all work on our scheduling and our organization a bit more.
well, I know I can. If you saw what I was sitting in here doing this, you'd be like, "How does this even get going?" I don't
You
know.
have your system, I'm sure.
I turn the button on and it goes bing. That's how it works. So you're taking are you taking your lessons now for the singing voices?
Yes, I have one tomorrow.
Yes. Now,
It's every Saturday.
have you taken any voice lessons in the past?
No, this is like I started this January, and that was my very first. I'm properly untrained, as you would say.
Well, it's a very naturally. I think it's very natural for this particular field.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like you're putting out a lot of effort when you're talking about it, but it does project extremely well.
Oh,
And
that's good to know.
and that accent is just so cute.
I've been told when I was in high school, I was told I have a radio voice. Whatever that means, I don't know.
Yeah, that means you get to talk, you get to read somebody else's stuff and not get paid for it. That's what that means. No, you really do have a great voice for it, and I can imagine.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
People
I think it's the one thing VTubers tend to be insecure about at first. It's their voice.
Yeah. And
I was like, oh, I sound weird. Oh, I have an accent. Whatever shall I do? I don't sound like a native English speaker because I'm not. But like, it's fine.
Yeah,
I've learned to accept it.
I'm in the middle of Illinois. We virtually have very little accent in comparison to a lot of people. We like to hear other people's accents.
That's what I've learned very quickly. People like the accents, and VTubing the accent is a boon.
Yes,
it is you would think it's natural hurdle, but it is not. No. People love an accent. It's nuts.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, you've got the personality to go with it, and obviously the talent and skills, and now the know-it-all to do it too. I think we're going to have some really bigger things coming up from you. I can't wait to see what Beryl's got for us in the future.
Very appreciated. I do have merch coming up, so that's something.
And merch coming up too.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have all of the links we've been able to find for Beryl in the description for this video. Beryl, thank you so much. And if I knew how to say thank you in French, I would.
It's merci.
Merci. Was that close?
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, close enough. It's good enough. It's merci. And yeah.
Well, come on back sometime, okay?
I would love to, and thank you for having me. It was very appreciated.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.